Hi everyone, Niev here, and we are going to do a little walkthrough of the Terra Arcanae. So this is a deck that I got for my birthday. If you saw my birthday haul, then I definitely talked about this deck. This is not in order as I have been using it. So yeah, cool. So just like the other Arcanae decks, it comes with a little white book here, which has a nice little write-up. It's honestly, this is all I kind of need for a tarot deck. I don't really need big books, and I think this is just fine. So as I said, this is there's more than one Arcanae deck. I also have the Oceanum Arcanae and the Ignis Arcanae, and I did back the Ventum Arcanae, which was on Kickstarter, and it should be shipping pretty much in the next month or two. So yeah, at least according to the author, and the author is Taylor Holquist Todd. Now I don't know if they go by this, which is on their on the books here, but they used to go by Taylor Bryn, so I don't know if that's still a name they're using or if they prefer this name. So I don't actually know, but I guess I'll start using Holquist Todd since that is what's on the booklet. So the backs are very similar to the other backs here. I mean, I'm just going to show this one. Very similar. And I expect the Ventum Arcanae to be pretty similar as well. I think on the back of this one we see an elephant right here in the center. Yeah, we see an elephant. There's a capybara down here. I don't know if this is focused or not. Maybe a deer right here. Maybe a wolf and a bear, a gorilla. Yeah, lots of different animals in here. I think that's a lamb over there. Oh, and a bat. Yeah, I like it. So obviously there is a theme with these decks. They're the four elements, earth, air, fire, water. And this is, of course, the earth themed deck, the Terra Arcanae, or the Earth Tarot. And I do love the artwork on this. I hope it's not glaring too much. There, I slightly adjusted the camera and moved the cards down a little bit so that it wouldn't glare so much. So, and these aren't shiny or anything. They're matte. And they do shuffle pretty nicely. I definitely love the art style. And I love the seriousness that this deck has. Because there's lots of other, like, element type decks out there. And a lot of them are... I don't know if silly is the right word, or, I don't know, less serious. I'm trying to focus. There we go. Or just have a softer vibe to it, I guess. But there's something about this deck that just feels more serious to me. It does have, it's an animal deck. So Animal Kingdom, this is a very pretty sun card. But there's something about this style of artwork that for me feels more serious. And that's kind of why I went with this element series versus another one. So, yeah, and there's a few out there. All of this. Oh, that's so cute. A raccoon for the Seven of Swords is so perfect. I just got finished saying that this is a more serious deck, and then this is such a cute, silly card. But, yeah, so my grandpa, who's long passed, I mean, he died when I was a kid, but my mom and her siblings grew up with a pet raccoon named Rocky the raccoon, and I have a picture of my grandpa with Rocky the raccoon on his shoulders while he's drinking his beer. And if I find that picture, I'll put it up on the screen. But yeah, I like that one. I'm definitely really enjoying the Earth deck here. Oh, this is the extra card. Okay, and I did keep it in. I might take it out, actually. Maybe. I'm not sure. I think I left the extra cards in these ones, so maybe I'll keep it in. I don't know. Yeah, I used to say that, I don't keep in the extra cards and stuff, and then I started keeping them in here and there. Not with every deck. There's several decks that came with extra cards that I don't put the extra cards in, but there's a few that I I don't know. And a lot of the reason why there's extra cards in decks is because for printing reasons, you know, you're printing, I think it's probably 80 cards that you that fit on a sheet, you know. So, and there's 78 tarot cards. So a lot of times there will be a title card and an extra bonus card, or 2 extra bonus cards in a deck. So that's the reason why why lots of decks have an extra bonus card, or alternate cards, etc. Oh, this is not focused. I think it's not focused. It's hard to tell in my view screen right now. But I do love this artwork. It does feel very serious. It's got that earthly Mother Nature vibe to it, of course. But it is very serious, and you know, and it's a bit of an RWS clone, yes. But it's done so very well, and the artwork is amazing. As I said, with all of these decks, and I've mentioned this multiple times, the artwork, the only negative I have with these decks is how dark the artwork is. Now, on screen, it actually shows much lighter, and you know, sometimes I've found that I'm more easily able to see what's on the card looking through the view screen than I do looking at the card right in front of me. Because for me, especially over here, it's super dark, and the details down here I don't really see. Whereas I look in the view screen and I can see, okay, there's a lot of like pebbles or something down here, and then this has the Death's white rose on that obelisk or whatever it is, stone that's right there. But yeah, in person though, a lot of these cards are super dark. Ooh, this is beautiful. I really, you know, the Two of Wands is not like one of my favorite tarot cards, but I find it's actually done very well in a lot of decks, especially very naturey decks. The Two of Wands is often done very nicely. The main example I can think of in regards to that is the Anima Mundi Tarot. The Two of Wands in that one is absolutely stunning. And I think it's because it shows the night sky, you know? Okay. I'm going to try to go through these a little faster. I don't expect this video to be too terribly long, and the reason is because I'm going to be getting the Ventum Arcanae in here soonishly, in the next month or two, I guess. I think that it's planned for November for people to start receiving their decks, but, you know, with Kickstarters, things can get pushed back, so I'm expecting at the latest January. I'll even give some leeway and say for February, but hopefully in the next month or two, I'll receive my deck. But look at this one. Oh my God, I didn't notice this one before when I hadn't pulled this card yet. I love this one. Oh my God, so cool. These are the I can't remember the specific primate. The name is escaping me right now, but they're in Japan, and beautiful. All right, I'll put it up on the screen if I remember. Anyway, so when I get in the Ventum Arcanae, I have a sort of plan for using the 4 decks together. So because of that, you know, if I get that deck pretty soon, there might be another video like this out soon and it's really going to be focused on the 4 decks. You know, this is so dark. In person, it's really dark. On camera, you can see a lot more back here, but in person, it starts being really difficult to see about right here. And then I can't see it, like it's just all dark. Yeah, that's, again, the only negative. And I mentioned this one in my last video when I was showing this deck. This card, on the view screen, you can see exactly what it is. It's, you know, it's a bear hiding its eyes, looks like. I'm looking in the view screen right now to see, and we can see all the foliage around here and stuff in the water. In person, though, like, it is really difficult to see what is going on right here. Yeah, again, my only negative of these decks. But I love the feeling of them. I love the vibe. So in this video, I'm going to try to go through this a little bit quicker here. And we will we'll start doing a few pairing, but like again, it's going to be a lot of the same pairings that I've used with the other two decks when I did walkthroughs of them and some of the experimenting there. I did try to grab some decks that I'm not sure whether I used or not. Some of them I may have used. I didn't go back and rewatch the videos, so I don't know. But I tried to grab a few decks that I feel like I hadn't used yet, but then also some of these are decks I've used. Ooh, yay, see, and this is so funny, because the moon is actually one of my least favorite tarot cards, but giraffes are my favorite animals, and so, yeah, I mean, I would have preferred to see giraffes in, light, so not in a nighttime kind of card, but in a, like, a daytime kind of card. That would have been my preference. I would have liked to, like, even the sun card would have been nice, but, I do like this for the moon. I wonder what it says for the moon, because one of the nice things about these little white books is it goes into the animals that are on the card. So the moon, giraffes. So the giraffe is best known for its height. And it's funny that giraffes are my favorite animals because I am extremely short. I'm 4'10", and then my favorite animals are super tall giraffes, you know. So they're known for their height. Mainly peaceful and nearly silent, today's giraffes live predominantly in parks and preserves because they need large areas over which to roam. Okay, interesting. And then the keywords they have is hidden talents, intuition, foresight, concealment. So maybe that's why. Concealment. Psychic awakening, silence, and insomnia. Okay. Oh, yeah, I like those keywords. Those keywords are actually really good keywords for the moon, because one of my issues with the moon card is I'm always a little bit confused when I pull it in a reading. And I'm always a little bit like, and that is the nature of the moon. It is supposed to be kind of an enigma, and it is supposed to be kind of secretive and things like that. But like, I feel like the moon card is like the try again later option in the Magic 8 Ball. You know, it's like answer unclear, try again later or something. That's what I feel like when I pull the moon, and I'm just like, what? so I do like some of these keywords, where it's talking about hidden talents. Intuition is a pretty typical keyword for the moon. Foresight is good. Concealment is very interesting. I kind of like that. Psychic awakening, that makes sense. Silence, that's an interesting keyword. And insomnia, I like that one too. All right, so interpretation suggestions. If you've had a vivid dream recently, your subconscious is trying to tell you something. Trust your gut if you suspect something's been kept from you. Sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses right now. It's a good time to try something new. You may discover a new talent. So that's interesting. Interesting read of the moon. All right, let me go a little bit faster here. I love the nighttime cards, and this is a beautiful card. I mean, it's pretty typical. I mean, we often see a rainbow with 10 chalices for the 10 of chalices, 10 of cups. But I don't know. I think I just really like when rainbows pop up in tarot decks. So I often like the imagery of the 10 of cups. So here we go. I love this card. And I couldn't quite tell if they are sticking with like primates for one suit, and I wasn't really quite paying attention to that, but let's see. Oh, this is a bat, Queen of Swords. Interesting to have my camera just fell down. Sorry about that. Let me adjust that. All right. I didn't even pause that. I'll probably just leave that in. But my camera just went. But anyway, interesting that they have a bat in here, because you know the Ventum Arcanae is winged creatures. And so birds in flight, things like that for the Ventum Arcanae. So interesting to get a winged creature here. But then at the same time, bats are a bit different. And here's another, more bats right here. This is the 4 of Swords. Oh, interesting. I like that. But yeah, of all of the winged beings who can fly that I would associate most with like an earth element. I guess bats would be pretty high on that list. Love orangutans. And I love the orangutan for the Empress. I think that's perfect. All right, let me go a little faster. Okay, this is another extra card. Okay, so it comes with 2 extra cards. So it had like a kind of a forest maiden type, perhaps other crowd type being in the other extra card, and then this one we have just kind of a wolf, which kind of makes me think of Princess Mononoke. So I kind of like that one. I might interpret that with this, but and then we have I don't know what that. Oh, a mole of some sort. Okay. Nice. Ooh, these are like caribou or something traveling through the water. Oh, I think I pulled this card during one of my readings because I used this deck as my nightly reader last week as I film this. Yeah, this week I'm using the Murder of Crows, but I love the zebras here. I love that. Oops, this. All right. Going a little faster now. Love the rhino for the Emperor. Ooh, I love that. Okay, the star is like a platypus. King of Wands. Yeah, I do like this. Oh, I like this. The world card. I want to see what this animal is. I think I know what it is, but it's like on the tip of my tongue. Let's see. So just rodents. Okay. So it's a mouse. Oh, that's cool. And then there's other rodents around here because there's a capybara, I think, right there. And oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let me see what it says here for rodents. From tiny mice to bigger animals like beavers, porcupines, and capybaras. Yeah, was that a beaver or is that a beaver? No, that's a capybara. That must be a beaver. Or is that the beaver? I'm not sure. Rodents are indigenous to every area of the planet except New Zealand and a few polar areas. Diverse, capable, and adaptable, rodent populations can be successful nearly anywhere. Squirrels, marmots, pocket gophers, chinchillas, rats, and their kin, both modern and extinct, have been around for 56 million years. I do apologize. The lighting in here is low, and I'm not wearing my glasses. And their industrious nature and adaptability makes it likely they'll stick around. Keywords: success, joy, peace in a new home, satisfaction, a job well done. Cool. I like that. Quite like this world card. Okay. Nearing the end here. This is so dark in person, this card. I like this one. Here's another, like, bat type creature. Were all of these swords bats? I don't know. Ooh, I like that. Almost done. All right. Few more. Love this Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, yeah. So I love this Tower card. It makes me think of like Chicxulub or something. Let's see. The Tower, Comet Collision. So just general comet collision. One of my kids just came home from school. If you heard the door close. Our Earth shows evidence of 5 global extinction events, periods of time when many species were eliminated suddenly in geological terms. The most recent of these extinctions happened. Extinction events happened about 65 million years ago. So abrupt change, calamity, a necessary but traumatic event, sudden blinding insight. Ooh, and that's a good positive for the Tower. Sudden blinding insight. Ooh, that was a good keyword for that, or key phrase. All right, and finally the 5 of Pentacles here. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle these real quick. and I'll just lay out, I'll do a few combinations, but I want to just try to keep this simple because we've, if you've seen the other videos, I dropped some cards there. If you've seen the other videos with the other two decks, you know, a lot of these are decks I've already tried, and I'm already 20 minutes in because I've been chattering the whole times, but there we go. So it was a little bit difficult to shuffle, but I'm also going around the camera. So let me see if I can get down below the camera. Sorry if the sound sounds weird with me doing this. Yeah, it is still a little stiff. The other one decks have loosened a little bit, especially my ocean one, which I've had a bit longer. But they are a little bit stiff at first. So there we go. So there is... there's the walkthrough. All right, I'm gonna split this, and we'll pull out a few cards and just see how this goes. Okay, so I pulled out the green glyphs, of course, because the green glyphs, while doesn't pair very well with most decks, actually goes really nicely with these decks. So I just wanted to lay out a little box next to these and just see how these look. And one of the things I've been doing with a 4-card reading is I've been kind of doing a, hold on, let me lay this down real quick. And I know I am a little bit out of frame, but you guys kind of get the idea. So I've been kind of doing a as above, so below, as within, so without, as you know, as cards around a center reading, using a different deck, and in this case Lenormand, and the green glyphs go really well with pretty much all of the Arcanae decks, so this wasn't even a question for me. But yeah, so the as above is, you know, it's kind of a check-in sort of vibe here. It's like perhaps a spiritual or either like a spiritual element or like a not subconscious. Yeah, subconscious sort of, even though sub means below, but you know, the conscious energy, and or what's the consciousness, maybe that's what I was trying to go for, or from a divine being. So a message from the consciousness, or what's going on, kind of above everything, etc. So I'm trying to give both a spiritual and a mundane interpretation of my interpretation of as above, for basically people who maybe don't ascribe to spiritual connotations in that way. I approach this more spiritually, but you know, it could be more mental, I guess. Yeah, because as within is a little bit different than that. But then we have so below. So it's the reality, I guess, or the mundaneness, the actual mundane energy going on. And then as within is a more emotional, or, you know, what's going on the inside, emotional feelings, or internal dialogue, etc. And then so without, and this is an external thing. It is it's an outward energy. So that's kind of a layout I've been using, and of course it looks great with the green glyphs. Now, an interesting thing we might do with all 4 decks is using one deck per position here. Like, I feel like the mundane part, the so below, would be the best for the Terra Arcanae, and I'm just kind of riffing here. And I think maybe the Ignis, like the fire energy, is good for that there. Because then there's also the Oceanum, which I feel like water is more an emotional sort of vibe here. And then, oh, maybe mental. Yeah, because swords makes sense here. Swords, so then, the Ventum Arcanae would be here, the Terra Arcanae, the Oceanum Arcanae, and then the Ignis Arcanae. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. So let me pull out another deck. So I'm also pulling out the Phenomena Oracle, and I don't know if I tried this with the other ones. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But anyway, I'm just going to put that in the middle there. I thought this might be cool. I actually feel like this might be a good one for all 3 decks. Oh, we got the extra card here. Just noticed that. Yeah, all 4 decks. I mean, the all of the Arcanae decks. The phenomena might be kind of good, cool with that. But you know, we can also use them individually, and this is an interesting energy. The art styles are very, very different. Obviously, the phenomena oracle is very vector graphicsy. You know, just do that. I mean, it's still very pretty though, and I think it works. And you know, the phenomena to me, it's a very interesting deck because it, you know, I've been saying that it kind of skews negative, and I still believe that it does kind of skew negative. It's just the way it skews negative is that the phenomena is all about big energies. It's all about, you know, explosive big energies. And even some of the, you know, not all of them are necessarily bad. There's tide, you know, that's not necessarily explosive. But I mean, there's another example here. Decompose is, but still that's kind of somewhat negative. Snow, you know, it's phenomena. And so phenomena is big energies. And a lot of times when you're experiencing big energies or tower-like energies, it can feel overwhelming. So there's an overwhelm or a sense of negativity to it. So that's kind of where I'm getting at when I'm talking about the phenomena being kind of skewing negative. But I do like it for explaining like a big event, like, or what's going to disrupt something. What is the nature of the phenomena that's going to happen in any given situation. And that's kind of how I've kind of used it. It's what is the phenomena of this situation, you know? So, and because it is, of course, very nature themed, I do think it goes very well with this deck. So there we go. Okay, so I also pulled out the Hedge Witch's Oracle. I think that's what it's called. I always forget the name of this one for some reason, but it's just it's an herb deck. It's got a keyword and then an herb associated with it. And there is a book that comes with it. Though I got this deck and the book in The Witch's Moon. So the book is actually a specialty version that it's hardcover and all that. But yeah, so I thought this would be an interesting combination. You know, I don't think I used it with the other Arcanae decks because I don't know. I didn't think to use it. I always kind of forget I have this, honestly. Now, the Stark White is a bit much with this, but the vibe of this, it's very earthy, of course. I thought maybe this could go pretty well with this, and actually, so far, I kind of like it. So let's see. We have Dream, the Golden Poppy, Dream between the 3 of Wands. That's actually really good, and the 5 of Wands. So interesting. Yeah, there's a way I could read into that for sure. Just making sure I'm not putting these upside down. Yeah, so, you know, I do think this works. I may use this in the future. Let's see. Because this is, I don't think I've tried this combination with the other Arcanae ones, so that's why I wanted to pull it out. And, you know, if I'm going to try the an herbal deck with any of the 4 Arcanae decks, it's going to be the Terra Arcanae, because that makes sense. This is nice. Strength in between the 7 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. Okay. Wow. Okay. A need for strength during this sort of energy here. An unfair situation going on, I think. Yeah, I think overall this works. I don't know how often I would actually pull this out to use with this. And maybe it's this deck specifically. I'm gonna have to think on it for a while because it does look good. I like pulling out the colors that are in here because this is a limited color palette. So we usually just get the pops of the berries or the flowers and then connecting it with the cards around it. I do like that. So one more. Let's see. Oh, mystery. The ghost pipes are really cool. Fauna or fungus. So mystery, the ghost pepper, or not ghost pepper, but ghost pipe in between the magician and the King of Wands. Ooh. Okay, interesting. All right, I'm clearly doing one more. All right, nice. Okay, so we also have the Illuminated Earth Oracle, which I think is going to go perfectly, honestly. And I already like it. It already looks good. Yeah. So, and I think I have tried this one with the other decks. It's got a very similar vibe, very similar energy. I do really like it. I love the rainbow in it. And this these decks also have a very serious energy to them that I feel like that these decks have. So there's a lot of vibes with these that I think go really, really well together. So there's not much more I'm going to say about this because I think this works really well. And I do think I tried this with the other ones and liked it. And, you know, of all the ones that I feel like would best match this one, it would be the Terra Arcanae because this is very earthy. I mean, I just found something that was more corally here, but evolution, you know, that makes sense. This is very stone, earthy kind of vibe, so I do think it goes very well with this energy. So, so yeah, that is the Illuminated Earth Oracle. So I also I pulled out two tarot decks to also try with this. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to see a combination and see how I like that. So I pulled out the Gentle Tarot here. And this is the larger version. It's not the mini version I had before. This was actually a gift. And I talk about this in my birthday, was it my birthday haul video? No, it was the My Magical Month of September video. So it was my September recap video. So I did talk about this deck and getting it in from a fellow tarot tuber. So yeah, go check that out. Anyway, I just kind of, you know, this is a very nature-oriented deck, and it's got a certain vibe to it that I kind of just wanted to see how it would look. Pulling out like 3 cards of this deck and 3 cards of this deck, just kind of seeing that vibe. Ooh, and it is really not focused, but hopefully this is okay. And I don't know how I would read this, but interesting. So we have the Ace of Swords with the Hanging One. Interesting. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, we got 2 aces. The Ace of Pentacles with the Lovers. And then the Tower with the 4 of Stones. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm just going to lay out a few more and see what I think of this. I don't know. I liked the idea of this in my head. I think maybe there's something about this that needs to be refined. So, interesting. Obviously, the art styles are very, very different. I'm going to do one more and see how I like this. Ooh, I love this 7 of Wands in this deck. And then, all right. Ooh, I love that Sun card too. Now, the nice thing about doing 2 tarot decks is you might end up getting the same cards in the different decks, and which didn't happen here. It was just something I was saying. And that, you know, could add to the reading. I also like that we've got the Sun here, and then we have this, it's the Empress card, but the Sun is very much in this image. So, I mean, that's something you can connect. Like, we have the High Priestess here, and it's almost like the High Priestess is handing you one of these earth stone things, handing you a stone. So that's interesting. And then we have, this is the 10 of Swords, and it's a porcupine. And 10 of Swords with the 7 of Wands. And this is almost like the porcupine down here and rising up above that. So, you know, I'm finding ways to read this. You know, it's not completely off the mark here. It's just, I'm not quite sure. I'm feeling it, though. Like, I did like the Sun card was above that other card that seemed to have the Sun. So, some of these are working and some of them, All right. Well, it's definitely something to experiment with later. And I'm just going to leave this out because the other deck that I have, tarot deck, is, this is the Druid Craft. Druid Craft tarot. I think it's called Druidcraft, right? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so let me rearrange something. Okay, so I've moved the Terra Arcanae further down, and I'm going to put the Druidcraft above. And the reason I had pulled this one out to try to pair, and ooh, I do like that already. Like, I don't know. It's the angle is, you know, it's making these cards look a little bit washed out, so it's hard to see the actual image here. Let me close the curtains a bit. Let me see. Hopefully that'll help. Maybe. So I do like this combination. I do think it looks pretty good. But the reason I pulled this out is I often use the Druidcraft tarot for Ondagda, the deity. And one of the things I was thinking about doing with the 4 Arcanae decks is connecting them to my 4 main deities that I follow in my Irish pagan path, and that is Ondagda, Unmorrigan, Breege, and Lugh. And I did actually just talk about this in the previous video right before this one. I kind of created a tag. It was hashtag deity decks. And I've gotten like, 20 views on that video since I posted it, but I am just not very successful at YouTube. I don't know what it is, but I kind of suck at it, I guess. My stuff does not get wide reach. But anyway, so I did a whole video on decks for Unmorrigan, and I didn't think to add a hashtag to it until after I did the video and I was uploading it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should add a hashtag on here for if anyone else wants to participate in hashtag deity decks. That'd be kind of cool. So if you're still watching this, please go watch my Morrigan video. And it was decks all about Unmorrigan, and I do talk about the Arcanae decks, and one of my ideas on using the Arcanae decks with my Irish deities. But yeah, anyway, so I was kind of considering connecting the this deck with Ondagda. And my Druidcraft is the primary one that I've kind of been using with Ondagda. So thought I'd give it a shot. Ooh, that one would be cool, like this. The Princess of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles, and the red cloak is pretty similar. Or we can just keep it over here like it would have been, and make that connection like that. Huh. Oh, and here we still ended up with a red cloth item anyway, so that's pretty cool. All right, I'm just going to lay out one more. I do think these actually go really nicely together. So this may be something I consider doing, and I do like, I like this energy with Ondagda, this kind of earthy energy. But I don't know. I still want to experiment with that. I don't want to lock anything in yet until I have all 4 Arcanae decks, and I kind of do my own little study, I guess. So anyway, so that is the Druidcraft. Okay, so that is it for this video. Here is the Terra Arcanae. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye!